Are developing now. Law enforcement furious after a violent road rage suspect quickly bonded out of jail. Emmanuel Bullard was released after paying a $3,500 bond, and a lot of people are asking why that bond was not set higher or why he received no bond at all. Joining us right now to talk more about it, legal expert and our good friend attorney Whitney Boan. Hi Whitney, good to see you.
Hey Amy, good morning. How are you?
Good, thanks. Okay, so a lot of things that, kind of got checked off of this list. A tipster called in, that was great. They went and got the guy, that was great. And then within a matter of hours, he's out of jail and people are scratching their heads saying, how did that happen?
Right. Yeah, I understand. I mean, especially when we're talking about allegations as serious as this, where, people are just driving around living their lives and then all of a sudden are having firearms expelled at them. That's horrifying. The bottom line is, though, Amy, when someone's charged with a crime, they're constitutionally presumed innocent. That doesn't mean that there may not be evidence of their guilt or that there may not be some probability that they would be found guilty in the long run. But the purpose of bond is to make sure someone appears for court, that the community is out of risk of harm, and that we can go through the process in a manner where if someone is guilty, they'll be found guilty according to the law at the right time before a judge, before a jury. It's not intended as bond to punish someone. So absent situations where a court is given evidence that someone's a danger to the community because they're charged with a dangerous crime and the crime evinces a disregard for the safety of the public, or that the person's not going to appear for court, the court has to give a person a bond if they're constitutionally entitled to it, such as this guy was with these charges. So,
Whitney, how do they go about deciding how much bond? Because I think what happens is oftentimes perhaps maybe the charges are filed in a way that, reduces that bond. In this particular case, somebody said, gosh, couldn't this guy have been charged with 4 counts of attempted murder? You're firing into a car, a person's in there. You're obviously trying to kill that person. But obviously that's not what happened. So is that why the bond was so low?
If he had been charged, Amy, that's a great point. If he'd been charged with attempted murder, it would be a totally different standard in terms of whether or not he might even be presumptively constitutionally entitled to a bond. In Florida, when someone's charged with a crime that's punishable by life or even the possibility of the death penalty, and there's certain standards in terms of the evidence, a judge can find that they're not even constitutionally entitled to a bond. In this case, he was not charged with attempted murder. He was charged with aggravated assault and then throwing a deadly missile or discharging or expelling a deadly missile into an occupied vehicle. In this case, we're talking about, bullets in terms of a firearm being shot at people's vehicles. So there are still ways that he could have been denied bond, but there is a little more that would have needed to happen as it relates to charges that he's facing in terms of prosecutors bringing evidence to the court that, listen, this guy is a substantial danger because he's going around shooting people multiple times. And we don't have any way of ensuring just by letting him out on a low bond that it's not going to happen again. We need more in place.
Yeah, it's just so frustrating. Obviously, law enforcement really frustrated with this. They're like, we got the guy, and he's out again. So more to talk about for sure, Whitney. We could talk about this for hours. Thank you so much, Attorney Whitney Boan. Great to have you.
Have a great day.
Bye.